Good morning, afternoon, evening, all of you gamers in chat. Are you ready for another fantastic, phenomenal, best podcast in the Hearthstone region you can find this Sunday afternoon? As always, we have our boys here, DracoCatt, a demon hunter master. You know who he is. You know what he throws down, and he's got warglaives for days. We got D-Money Games here, everybody, as we know, lover of the Highlander deck, speaker to the Zephyrus, and friend of the Alex Straza. D-Money, how you doing today, man?
My pet Alex Straza, yes, she's wonderful. Thank
so
you for
good,
having
man.
me. Yeah, that was wonderful. How are you, Warshack? That's the more important question. We got the War. Did you introduce yourself?
No, I didn't. Hi guys, I'm Rob.
Yeah, doing great here. Just another day, actually, I'm kind of dreading streaming Hearthstone, but I'm glad that I get to make content out of just talking about Hearthstone because, yeah, I don't know how much more I could play until these new cards come out. But how you guys doing? How's it going?
I'm doing okay. We had a little. It's actually cold in Florida for the first time in a while. So we had a little fire last night. We smoked some cigars. I did play Hearthstone yesterday. We hit Legend with a Demon Hunter deck. So overall, yesterday was a really good day. Good weekend so far for me. How you doing, Draco?
Doing pretty good. Been playing a lot of Switch with the fiance. Outside of playing Hearthstone, did a whole bunch of THL games. Had a really good week of a Twitch, so that was really exciting. Yeah, I don't know. Things are feeling good. Meta's feeling a little stale, but
A little.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Despite the circumstances.
What games on the Switch?
I just got Hades, and I haven't played it yet, but I'm looking forward to doing that. But we have been playing the Kirby game. I'm forgetting. Star Allies. Kirby Star Allies. That's what it's called. And of course, Mario Kart 8. So.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, everybody, I don't know, everybody who plays Hades loves Hades, including myself. So I think you'll enjoy it as well.
Oh shit, you played Hades?
Yeah, I have. I actually streamed Hades a few times.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a ton of fun. I probably played it like not too much, maybe like 10 hours, 15 hours, but yeah, I loved it every single time I played it. The gameplay is just like so fluid. It just feels so good to play. I don't know. The combat is just amazing.
Does your guy have like an overall level, or each time you start like a map, does he start it like you start over? Because I really don't understand it. I see a lot of people play it. Pocket Aces was playing it, and I had tuned in and watched it. I didn't know what the hell was going on though. There's some crazy shit happening.
Yeah, so at the beginning, you're just like starting over every time, and like you're gaining, like you can unlock weapons and stuff like that. But then once you get to a certain point where you've unlocked all the weapons, then you unlock like modifiers, so you make the game harder, but you get like more rewards and stuff like that. So yeah, I haven't really. I've beaten it with like the normal stuff, like with no modifiers, but like people beat it with like a shitload of modifiers on, and like I haven't even attempted that stuff yet. So I'm still a noob at it, but I just love playing the game in general. So yeah.
There was also someone who speed ran the game an entire completion in like 29 minutes. Like he never messed up like in a single part of it, picked all the correct skills, found all the weapons that worked with things, built a strategy around it, and beat the entire game in 29 minutes. So,
well, like one run, right? Or you're saying the entire game? Okay.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I was watching the developers watch that happen, and they were just like, what? Like, that's pretty good.
Not intended.
It gets very intense. It really does.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have this this kind of stale meta.
Beautiful meta.
Yeah.
This beautiful picture here, guys. If you notice, we have the most favorite deck, the Paladin, always there at the top. Wonder what that could be.
Yeah, it's certainly not anything to do with the ease of playing the deck with success.
It's just like it's such a boring archetype, Librams, like in general. It's just so boring, like to play against, and like I don't know. I've played as it a few times, and like I never want to play it again. Like it's just so the deck is so linear. You just do the same thing every single game. You just turn 5. You turn 1, you play the 1/3 guy. Then you play the Libram of Wisdom if you have it, and then you play the 5 mana guy, and then you play the Hope. Like it's the same thing every single game. I don't know. There's no variety.
That doesn't excite you?
Yeah, it does not.
I mean, for those that don't like art, like randomly generated stuff, Paladin has like some of the least of it. I mean, everything in the deck just does what it's gonna do, but the problem is it's just like very, very linear. Even with it, like Demon Hunter doesn't have a lot of like Discover and RNG, but it feels like at least the games are different-ish. But Paladin, they definitely, like you said, they feel like all the games relatively play out exactly the same.
Yeah,
I was having a conversation with a friend about why I don't like Paladin, and it kind of came around the concept of what I do like is I like discovering in classes so I can play decks creatively against my opponent, even though that is a hated mechanic. I understand why. I hate it too sometimes when I'm playing against it and can't predict people finding the perfect things. I get it. But I find it fun. And the other thing I like is I like going face. That is my other thing that I like in Hearthstone. Like I've always enjoyed playing Hunter. I enjoy playing decks that kill my opponent while they're trying to react to it, and I just more efficiently end the game. And the thing that I think makes Demon Hunter not feel stale, kind of like where we're talking about how Paladin, it doesn't really have the discoverability and it doesn't go phase. It's the fact that at least Demon Hunter, you're playing a game with your own hand the entire time. It changes the outcome of every single game from like the way you draw cards in sequence, because Outcast built into Demon Hunter makes every single game unique because you draw cards in a different order every time.
That is true. Yep.
That is true.
I love the Outcast mechanic. I just hate everything about Demon Hunter. But yeah, what I was gonna say was like, yeah, so Paladin, it's like very straightforward, and then it's like, yeah, I want more RNG, I guess, in the class, but like I don't want too much RNG. It's like, how do you make a deck like Libram Paladin like fun without adding too much RNG? You know what I'm saying?
Paladin does scam. That is not true. I will tell you how they scam right now.
That's true.
Sorry to answer that question in chat. You ever seen someone play that High Priestess Alera card with a coin on turn 3 and then play like a first day of school?
I have.
And hit an 8/8 Divine Shield taunt on turn 3.
So like every other game, yeah.
That's a fucking scam. I'm just gonna call that out right as it is. That's a turn 3/6 and a 8/8 Divine Shield.
Okay, there's definitely there are some RNG cards, yes. But still, I don't know. Like it's hard to like know how much randomness. Like how do you make a deck fun without really putting in that randomness? Like what is another element that really makes it fun and like unique kind of games every game? But like that's like what we used to have, I think, like back in the day, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of liked it when it was like in Rogue and Priest and Shaman in like a minor way, but like the rest of the cards carried the decks. So like you had to use those random discovery cards to change the outcome of games that were leaning in a specific direction. Where like now it's like discovery is at a point where Priest doesn't have a win condition. They just like kind of bore you out of the game by discovering things until the point where like if you just keep playing, eventually they'll kill you, but that's like another 5 turns away, so you might as well concede. I think it's different now because discoveries turned into like a win condition because you can just build decks entirely set of it. But
so is it just like Discover is too strong? Is that just?
I think there's too many discovery cards that are in the game at the same time in the same classes, to the point where you can build entire decks that do things that aren't in the decks. Like Cyclone Mage was kind of ridiculous. Dragon Weaver Priest, which I've been playing a lot of that Tonberry Priest. Like you don't even run like the removal cards in the deck. You just run a whole bunch of cards that discover cards and then make everything free in your hand to just keep doing it nonstop with like Sethics.
It's fun.
That's really fun. But at the same time, like it's impossible for you, like your opponent to play against it, because like even when you're like going into turns, you're like, all right, I'm gonna discover a card first because I don't know if I want to play this one more. And then you're like, oh no, I'm definitely gonna play the one I just got instead. And then you know it just turns into this never-ending thing where no one can predict what's going to happen. And I don't know if that's good for the game.
I don't think so. I played against a priest that had like 4 weavers down, and the vile one too, and they just went crazy. Like I have seen, like it was every spell they played, something got reduced by 4, and everything got created. And at one point, it was all 10 cards in his hand were just like from the weaver, and they were all like 0 mana. It was crazy. And
World Kick Rogue
that's a good
absolutely
meme.
falls into this demographic as well. You know, like let's
Yeah.
be real. That deck is the same thing. It discovers entire hands of combo cards or like evocation, secret passage, like shadow stepping the lackey things off of ethereal lackeys, finding more shadow steps. They have an entire hand of lackeys or something. It's all ridiculous. Like
Yeah, but honestly, what activates that whole like them having a hand like that is the fact that they can bounce the cards back to their hand and then have those cards cost 0.
Thank you.
Which I actually made like a video recently on that. But like, if your opponent plays a World Kick, right, for 2 mana, and then they play like 3 combo cards, which is roughly how much they would have to be able to play after the mana cost, and then you would just kill the World Kick the following turn. So it's like you stop the value after they just generated those 3 cards. The problem is they just shadow step it.
Thank you.
And then they now have it again for the following turn that they get to play for 0 mana for some reason. They paid 0 mana to save 2 mana in the future. It's fucking insane. And then they just do it again. And then they probably were able to generate some other thing that bounces it back. So I don't know.
Shadow Step is just an uninteractive card. It doesn't let your opponent interact with anything unless they have like a specific card like Elucia that can actually interact with your opponent's hand. That's why when like Dirty Rat was a thing, like it was actually okay for something like that because then you could just actually interact with it. But now there's like absolutely no way besides that one card, and it really sucks.
And they put it behind the legendary tag for only priest, so you can only play one of the card in only priest. It's not even like a common or something easy for players to have access to. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, so like the problem that I have is like these, and we talked about it a little bit last week and maybe the week before as well. It's just like these decks like Priest and World Kick Rogue, like that generate all these random cards and everything. Like they're fun to play as. They are fun to play as, but playing against them, it feels completely awful. And that's why I think this game feels so bad right now, because there's so many decks that just feel so bad to play against. I was talking about it yesterday on my stream. I don't think there's one class that like I feel okay with actually going up against. Like that is not like every single class I play against. I just don't. I like dread the matchup. I dread playing against it. Like maybe Mage is an exception a little bit, just because it's so bad. But yeah, like I just know I've said this on like one other podcast before as well. That it's like Demon Hunter, okay, it's combo Demon Hunter, it's gonna be so unfun, they're just gonna draw all their cards, whatever. World Kick Rogue, like, okay, they're gonna secret pass, they're gonna top deck secret passage against me. I've just had so many bad experiences against every class and every deck that like it's just I don't want to play against it anymore, you know? And then it's like, well, I don't even want to play this game. Yeah.
damn,
I'm sorry.
it's cold.
It's the truth.
That is cold. I actually have like kind of the opposite feeling. Like I don't mind playing against quite a few of the classes because I know what they can do. Like Druid, I like most of the time their game plan as they're doing it, you can see it unfold. Demon Hunter, there's very low Discover and RNG in that class. You know, if they skull after they pull Celt, you know what's in their hand, you know what's coming, and you can try to play it around it the best you can. Warrior, you know, they gain a shit ton of armor, but you already know that. Their win condition is EDC, so let's try to play around it. Hunter, you know, they smork, you just have to anti-smork. So it really, there's only a few classes in my mind that really just can get really out of hand. That's going to be Priest, that's going to be the Mage, that's going to be a Rogue. Those 3 classes I think are the most highly volatile and randomly generating just huge amounts of tempo, value, just craziness that like they would never have the ability to win, but they have these huge burst turns that allow them to kind of propel what is a loss into a win.
Yeah, I mean, even if I know what they're gonna do, it's still like even if there's no really generation, it just still grinds my gears. I don't know.
I have to admit, ever since I was having so much fun playing Hearthstone. Before they did that, we're gonna get to this in a little bit later, chat. With the esport announcement. After the esport announcement happened, like everyone who cared about Hearthstone that was like having fun. Just like at least in like the top 1,000 legend ranks, and even probably further back than that, like the people that are in range of striking level of doing like the Masters Tour stuff and finishing really high. Like everyone just decided, like, fuck it, man, let's just play Rogue. Like, and so all I do is I play against rogues that actually care, that aren't taking risks, that aren't trying to have fun. They're just trying to win in the most determined way possible all day long. And I can't deal. It gets very frustrating to me too. All I'm saying is I relate with D-Money right now, where it's like,
hence my
if it's not
post
that,
yesterday.
it's Zoo. It's either Zoo and played in that card now that they have where it buffs the whole board. It just makes all of the like the normal answers to react to Zoo, and like at least in Demon Hunter are just like able to play around. And I don't know, man. Like it's like, do I want to play against Zoo Warlock and World Kick Rogue for 4 hours in a row? That's what I'm gonna do every day. But
yeah, it actually feels like a chore to play Hearthstone right now. Like it's like,
And it's also sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have a different viewpoint. Like a wonderful person in chat pointed out that I'm 10k legend. I am ish, but there's a lot of different like decks I play at that rank than like D-Money, who's constantly top 250. Draco's constantly 500. So of course they're gonna have like a different experience than Hearthstone with me, because they're playing much more competitive players that are playing more refined decks, and they're playing them basically perfectly while I am not. So my take on this is definitely more of just a fun aspect and not so much competitive.
yeah, you don't want to be a part of the side of the competitive side of the game right now, though. I think honestly, I would much rather like I might just play games on like one of my other accounts this week, just so like I don't have to play Unstop Rogues. But like at the same time, people like to watch you play in High Legend just because it feels like the stakes are higher.
What also reveals like you're a player of like very high skill. Like I see D-Money playing no hands gamer casually, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I
that's
play him
so
when
cool.
I'm drunk on stream. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean that's it, for players who know no hands are like shit. You know, D-Money knows this class and he's good. So that's, you know, it's another take to the stream that allows for more viewing pleasure.
I'm hitting this weird crossroads where I want to make videos about interesting Demon Hunter decks and show how they can all be viable, and so I can make YouTube videos about it. And then I'm also having the problem where all of my games that I'm trying to make videos about are against the same deck.
Yeah.
So like it's like, oh great, I got like 6 awesome OTK Demon Hunter wins against Rogue. I can't post this. This is a bad video. It's only against Rogue. Or it's like, oh great, I got like a whole bunch of this cool Demon Hunter deck, but I played 4 zoos in a row. So
I felt that when Shaman was really popular. Like when like Shaman was like 50% of the games being played, all of my videos were just basically against Shamans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God dang it, ladder. Like, come on, man. It's all just do they have bog spawn on 5 or 4 or 3? If not, all right, my deck stands a chance. Let's go.
Yeah, it's just very boring to play against the same thing over and over, and that's part of the reason why I've been getting burnt out, because like it's the same thing as what like Draco said. Like there's just all rogues right now, and like that's why I tweeted out yesterday like 60% plus rogue that I play against yesterday. Ooh. Like it's just not fun at all. It's like
and that's why we saw you on Valorant.
Yeah. I just hit that play button and then I queue into a game and I'm like, okay, guys, everybody in chat knows. Everybody in chat's like, oh wow, another rogue, and I'm like, yep, of course, here we go again. And
I was watching Liquid Ox for a second, and you were like tabbed out, and his audio was on while you were streaming. And at some point, I just remember him saying like, "D-Money rage quit," and he's playing Valorant after an hour. Okay, I remember someone came into his chat to tell him that you rage quit play Valorant. I know that was funny, man. But like, I got the D-Money news on the Liquid Ox channel from someone from your channel going ratting on you.
That's my squad. They got my back. All right, we could talk about the top 1K. So this is across all ranks, by the way, guys. I forgot to mention that while you're looking at right here. But we're going to go into the top 1K meta amongst all servers. That's what we're looking at right now.
What the heck? Do I see what I think I see at number 1?
You do. Control Warrior, yes.
All right, yo, Draco, please send me that deck list. I'm playing that today.
It's got Risky Skipper in it, bro.
Fuck. All right, never mind, Draco. Don't send me that shit. It's trash.
The only way to have a good warrior deck is to have Skipper in it. That's just what it is.
No, I refuse to play that damn card.
I don't know what server is running this deck. I'm looking at it right now, and it has Yogg in it. And Cthulhu.
Yeah, it has Yogg and Cthulhu.
And Rattlegore.
I haven't seen the Yogg. I've definitely seen Cthulhu, but actually not even too much. I just see like Enraged Warrior a lot. But
Yeah, here you go. I'm going to post it in your chat. It's really interesting.
I don't want to hear that power. I don't need that sass.
I wonder who plays this on what server, but it must be good if like that specific deck is. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, it's got one cash and the rest of it is just like all the other good stuff. And one Bloodsworn Mercenary. It's got no win condition other than removal, Yogg, and Cthulhu and Rattlegore. Okay, Cthulhu's a win condition.
yes.
Yeah, Rattlegore is a win condition. Cthulhu is a win condition.
Yeah.
Yogg is a win condition.
You know why we see this at the top here? It's because everybody's playing Rogue. So
yeah,
this just Control Warrior in general, or just control decks in general, are going to counter Rogue. And yeah, that's like the whole reason why we see it up there. Oops, wrong thing. Yeah, like any Control Warrior is gonna do it, and like even Enraged Warrior is kind of like control because sometimes I mean they have the skippers in there, right? So
yeah,
they can clear the board and then just kind of control. They could probably gain a lot of armor as well if they want to. Yeah, that's why.
It's very interesting.
It honestly doesn't look like that easy of a deck to play, to be honest, besides the skipper parts. Like, I don't know. Against Rogue, you definitely have to know how to play control to do well against Rogue with this particular deck. Because I've seen Warriors just like randomly play Bulwarks not correctly. They mess up on when to play Minefield and Whirligig, and I don't know. Seems like a pretty cool deck.
That deck's from Europe. So I just went through all the other like top 1K tier lists for like the regions, and evidently that's where it's tearing up enough to make it as the number one.
Nice.
But if you look at all their like the things right underneath of it, it's Galakron Rogue, World Kick Rogue, Stealth Rogue, and Secret Rogue. So like DMoney's correct is what I'm saying. It's that the meta where that is performing so exceptionally well in to the point where it gets to be the best deck is the Europe meta in top 1K, which is evidently very, very rogue centric.
So people in chat are saying VS Vicious Syndicate is better than this, than the HS Replay meta report that we're looking at. But I mean, HS Replay is like all stats, I'm pretty sure. And Vicious Syndicate should be like stats plus their opinions, right? So like we're just purely looking at the stats and then we're giving you opinions.
This is just the last 3 days, guys.
Yeah, like Vicious Syndicate's like that's their opinions and everything, like that's influencing the stuff that you see there, I'm pretty sure. So like we're actually looking at the data and we're like evaluating it. I don't know, right?
Yeah, imagine what would happen to the Vicious Syndicate podcast if like we did the Vicious Syndicate report on the Metabreakers podcast. That would be funny. It's hilarious.
Well, I don't know. This is what we're going off of. This is what we've always gone off of. And it's accurate. I mean, this is what the data is showing, and it makes sense. It really does.
I read the Vicious Syndicate podcast every week.
I'm looking at both of them right now, and we're within a couple percents of each other. Like, there's a margin of error that seems very small here. So I don't think either website I would say is right or wrong. I just think it's revealing the information relatively the same, whether it's like 1% or 2% of a difference. So,
I mean, the Guardian Druid being the top of tier 2, that okay, maybe Vicious Syndicate is right. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't seen any Guardian Druid like at all. It's pretty surprising to see that up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just a different kind of approach on looking at it. Like, I mean, we just kind of talk about like why anything would be on the top of what we're looking at when it is, even if we don't agree with it. Like, we kind of justified why Control Warrior we thought was up there because Rogue is so prevalent everywhere. One thing I did find very interesting about the or that I found satisfying and to read in the Vicious Syndicate podcast or the report was people always ask me what the best Demon Hunter deck is every week, right? And I was telling people this week that it's actually the aggro Demon Hunter with the Il'gynoth finisher with the heal sticks. Have you guys seen this deck?
Yes.
I have not.
Okay, so the win con is you pull Kel, right? And then when you skull, you always hit the Il'gynoth in your Kanye. And then all of the next cards that you draw are Relentless Pursuits and Stilt Steppers. If you get another skull off on it, then you basically get to do like a 25 plus damage punch. That's in an aggro Demon Hunter shell. So usually you already chip away like a whole bunch of their life. So you don't even need
So
that
no
much.
outcast.
What's that?
So no outcast. Let's just replace Il'gynoth for outcast, and then you instead of dread Lord's Bite, it's Healy Blades.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of the altruist
Okay.
finisher, you just run heal sticks, and then you also run relentless pursuits now.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Normally you wouldn't run them because the Stilt Steppers, because you wouldn't want to, obviously have a 3-mana card that it goes into, but you don't really give a shit because you have the Healy Blades with Il'gynoth, so you're just punching more damage anyway. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and it also gives you ways to like answer like questing adventures and shit, like without actually taking a detriment to it, like in the early game, where you're like, oh crap, I got to get rid of this off the board so I don't lose this rogue. And then you're like, okay, let me just like give myself 7 attack with immune and slap it, and then we can continue.
Yeah, I've been playing against a lot of aggro DH. It's super fun. Super fun. Another deck that I love to go against. Just makes me want to press that play button even more,
That's definitely the best Demon Hunter deck. But in Vicious Syndicate, and I was telling people that all week, in Vicious Syndicate in their report, they're like, yo, this is the best Demon Hunter deck, this new thing that people are doing. And I was like, yes, that is exactly what I've been telling people. I had like a video pre-recorded saying that, and seeing something reiterate that, I was like, fuck yeah.
They must watch your stream. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, we have some exciting stuff to go into, guys. Exciting news, breaking news alert. What's this? We're revealing a full 2021 schedule next week. Wow. So it's an announcement of an announcement. All right, you know what? Yeah, we have.
I'm a little disappointed we didn't get an announcement of an announcement of an announcement, because usually
we did before.
We have gotten announcements of announcements of announcements. So
yeah, this is an actual announcement of an announcement, and it's saying that the top 32 players in each region at the end of this month will secure invites for the next Masters tournament. So very exciting. We don't know any information about the Masters tournaments for this year, but getting an invite is still a big deal. Even if they reduce the amount that you get for getting the invite by a little bit, it still should be a pretty big deal. So, very exciting.
Well, I see it's also top 32, and before wasn't it top 16?
That is true. Yeah.
So they've extended the amount of people who get invited into a high caliber Hearthstone stakes international world playing of cards.
I heard a theory on that.
Twice as many players.
Interjection. The theory I heard on that was they didn't do anything for December, where the other months all mattered. So they were it might be 32 for January, because
that's actually interesting.
Of not.
Oh, so anything. This might not be carrying forward.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool if it did. I guess. I mean,
yeah, the problem is if it does, if it's actually 32 from now on, then they probably will have to like decrease the prize, like how much you get for just participating in the tournament, unless they're like just giving out more money. I'm just saying, like,
there you go.
That makes
That's
sense,
the attitude.
I don't foresee them giving out just more money like that. It's already like a decent amount of money they give out. So
no, we gotta get more.
If they want to, I have no problem with it. But
I don't see that the Masters Tour probably made so much money from their 5,000 average viewers of YouTube to probably be giving people more prize money in the 2021 pro circuit.
Well, not with that attitude.
I don't think I think it, like numerically, if we think about it, it doesn't make sense. But, I like your optimism, Rob, and I echo it.
Yeah,
No,
so
they're
that's
gonna
the
treat
only
their players right. It's gonna be good.
That's the only thing that I'm kind of worried about is that the money that I'll get for participating in a Masters tournament, if I do qualify, is going to be lower than what it was before, because it used to be like $850 just for playing in the tournament, and that's a decent amount of money, and like that's worth grinding for. But if they decrease it, if they like have it, then it's gonna be a lot less incentive, and a lot of people are gonna be outraged, and a lot of people are already outraged with a lot of things right now. So I hope they're not gonna do that. I actually have never heard the thing that Draco is saying with combining like December and January. That would make a lot of sense, and that would hopefully be what they're doing.
Yeah, I bring a lot of really interesting perspectives and points to the podcast. I'm not just the crackhead.
If you're listening out there. Yeah, but exciting to get like some kind of news here, and next week is already like kind of now. Some people consider Sunday the start of the week, not me, but
most people
calendars do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, people look at it from the work week perspective because that's how our brains like kind of think, because we still conclude Sunday as part of our weekend. So that's kind of where it goes. But in like, if we think about like the history of the calendar, the day of the week has always started on Sunday.
No.
There you go.
Don't say.
I still don't believe it. I'm still a Monday. I'm a Monday weeker.
I don't know if it's debatable, but you know, you're entitled to your opinion.
Thank you.
Or fallacy.
But regardless, it's coming up very soon. We're going to get an announcement very soon about this. And also, we did get another announcement as well, which is
The leaky faucet.
Yes. We have, there was a leak here. Does one of you want to talk about the leak a little bit?
I'll do it. Okay. This week, it was leaked that Hearthstone is releasing the mini set on January 21st. No need to look at your calendars because I'm going to tell you that's Thursday. So, that being said, the concept is that they release all the cards on Thursday, and then they can be found in the packs. But there's also going to be a special bundle that you can buy for 2,000 gold or $15 that gives you all the cards. So that's actually a really sweet and approachable deal in comparison to the way expansions have been of the past. And that would be awesome if that was the case. One of the first things I thought about reading this with this news is how would I get the golden cards I want, which is like kind of hard to imagine with this. Have you guys thought about that, D-Money?
I mean, you could just craft them if you want them.
Wow,
like
thank you.
You theoretically don't even have to buy the 2,000 gold thing if you just craft all the cards, but I don't know the comparison on like dust and everything. It depends on how many.
You should probably open your packs first. Is kind of what I'm saying.
I haven't been saving my packs.
Okay. Well, if you have been saving packs and you want golden cards, you probably want to open your packs before buying the mini set if you plan on buying the mini set anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm at a crossroads because I saved my 5 golden packs from the pre-order. And I also have 26 other packs that I can open. And if I open these packs, I'm guaranteed to obviously get Dark Moon stuff, the new stuff, because I already have all of the old cards, like all of the stuff that's already been released. I have those. But
that's awesome.
I don't want to like not get them all and then have to spend 2,000 gold to get the ones I don't have when I could just spend 2,000 gold to get them all anyway, and then the packs could just open up extras. So I didn't know they were going to do this. So I was like thinking I'm a 5-head for saving my golden packs to only get new golden cards. But then they introduced this 2,000 gold deal, which is a fantastic, like 2,000 gold for 35 cards, 4 of which are legendaries. That's a really good deal for 4,000 gold. And to have the option between the money or the gold is very nice. But it's put me at a crossroads now. I don't know what to do.
I don't think the golden packs work like that.
So no, they do. That's incorrect. The golden cards packs do follow the duplicate rule, the no duplicate rule.
Are you sure?
But they do not have a pity timer. That's what has been officially released about golden packs. So you don't get a legendary if you like somehow open 40 of the same gold. That's impossible, but even if you did, there's no pity timer, I guess what they said.
Well, you better hope these cards are worth it.
Rob, you should get all new commons and rares, and then if you get an epic or a legendary, assuming you have the full Dark Moon Fair collection, it should all be from the mini set out of those golden packs, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really five that you saved those for this exact.
So are you like thinking if you want to open some regular ones first and then like?
Well, no, because if I let's say I open the 25 packs and I don't get everything, right? And then like I'm missing 3 legendaries. Let's say in the 25 packs I only get 1 legendary and I'm still missing 3 legendaries. Like I'm going to have to spend 2,000 gold to get the other ones, but I could have just not opened those packs and spent 2,000 gold and got all the stuff I just opened anyway.
Well, I mean, at that point you should just use dust, I would think. But then it's like, what is the correlation between gold and dust? Like how much does, you know what I'm saying? Like
the best thing to do is probably open the gold packs and then buy it. That's like, because then you only get golden versions of those cards, which are generally mini set goldens are the rarest in the game because they need to be crafted deliberately.
Yeah, you're going to be able to sell those on the market for so much money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're just ones that viewers and people don't see that much. You know what I mean? Like no matter what it is, like you don't see a lot of golding amazing Renos in the game because like in order to have that, someone needed to sink the dust to create it.
It was me.
Right. Like same thing with like cards like Rottenness Drake. No one has golden Rottenness Drake because you have to sink 800 dust into a card that you already have.
To an OP card.
Yeah. All right, so I will confirm I have all commons, all rares, all epics, and all legendaries before opening up golden packs. The new mini set drops, I open up golden packs, and we crack open a cold one with our new boys. All right, sounds good.
Unless you're feeling really, really lucky with those few packs you have. You know, if you feel like you're gonna pull 4 legendaries in those 20 packs, then
yeah, I'm a lucky gamer. Everybody knows I've got a really good high roll potential. I've got great RNG. I got this. I've never didn't have it.
Did you get the coin for the complete collection, Rob?
I don't know. I might.
That'll tell you.
I just use the standard coin.
You get a cosmetic coin if you have the full complete collection of Dark Moon of Fair right now. So if you should probably make sure you have that. And if you don't have that, you might be like, oh shit, I need to craft like a single epic or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I have 26 packs that I've yet to open plus the 5 of golden ones. So I should be good.
Yeah. So if you, assuming in those 26 packs that you complete the entire collection, if you don't have it already, then opening the golden packs and then buying the mini set would probably be the best way to, yeah.
So we have a question in chat
about this. I feel better.
We have a question in chat about it. So you want to, so you're saying if I don't have all the original cards, should I get them before opening the bundle? Well, this isn't a bundle. It's kind of a bundle, but this 2,000 gold, it's going to give you all the new cards for sure. And if you're buying the bundle, then you might as well. Like it doesn't matter how many cards you have, original cards you have. But if you want an increased chance of getting the new cards in your packs, then you should try to own as many of the original Dark Moon cards as possible.
Yeah, I assume most people that listen to this podcast have opened a lot of Dark Moon Fair packs. If you've opened up like 100, I would assume is like a normal amount. You probably have all of the commons and rares, but not all the legendaries and epics. So if you waited to open your packs till the mini set comes out, when you open the packs, you'll be getting all of the mini set commons and rares. But when you get epics and legendaries, there's a possibility that they could be legendaries that you didn't receive from the set before or epics from the set you didn't receive before. Just to make that clear.
Yeah, but overall, this 2,000 gold thing is really good because I know a lot of people have been thinking this as well, but I just want to clarify for some people that with the past adventures, with past like mini sets like this, you would have to pay for wings for individual wings of the set, which would cost a lot more than 2,000 gold. I don't know how much it would be in total, but
They were like 700 or 800 a wing, right? 700 or
Yeah.
800 sounds right.
It was
And then there
800.
was 8 wings because it'd be 2 sides or something, and each side was like 700.
We
Yeah,
opened
it
up
was a
both wings for paying for it out of both of the books. You know what I mean? Like if you paid for it, you got like the bad side of the evil side and the hero side.
yeah.
So it was 4
so it was
payments
like-
of 800. Just
I thought it was like
2,400.
750. It's close though. Yeah,
maybe the first one was that. They gave one of them for free too.
that's true. So actually, maybe it's around the same actually with gold. No.
Well, it's 20. Sergeant Teabags is 2,800.
Okay. So it's a slight discount, but it's still nice that it's all that. I don't know.
Well, you're
That
also
is something,
getting
yeah.
35
It's a 100
cards.
gold discount if you think about it specifically. That's hilarious. That's so Blizzard.
Well, we'll take whatever we can get at this point. All right, we'll take it.
Man, that the 2,000 sounded so
I know,
good
right?
for like a 35, but then like you frame it slightly different. It's like
Yeah.
100 gold different. It's like, well, shit, son. It's like these people are a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, but this is also the same company that reacted to the battle pass scenario at one point by sliding in a thing that they were like, oh, and we gave plus 100 out on this track, which is 100 gold extra on the rewards track. And everyone was like making fun of that and making memes of it on the internet where they're like, oh, I'm sorry you're upset. Here's 100 gold.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
But this is
No,
the same
fuck
thing.
off.
This is the same exact
Yeah.
thing.
But something cool to look at right here is they're bringing back mechanics like dual class cards and spell burst in this mini set.
Yeah, that's gonna be really neat.
No, Outcast.
yeah.
Feels bad.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
a couple
it could
people
be.
in my like that are like Demon Hunter mains in the Discord and stuff have been like, I really want a Demon Hunter Spellburst card, and I was just thinking like, why? Why do you want that? Does that sound good?
It probably would be very
Outcast
good.
and Spellburst.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Like Outcast gains Spellburst. Do this. That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very conditional at that point, but
Yeah,
it
so
had
it has to be
really good
good.
effect.
Yeah.
Outcast Spellburst do 10 damage to the enemy hero.
Spellburst and dual class cards are pretty powerful generally, or it seems like they have been.
Oh. Outcast Spellburst don't go dormant. It skips the dormant. That'd be
Ooh,
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna
So, like,
combine the
Anton.
effects. We're all just being creative, you know. Don't take this as what's gonna happen, guys, because
Yeah,
they
we're
said
just
they're bringing
spouting
back
nonsense.
these different mechanics. Not that they're gonna combine them into abominations like we're doing.
I mean, but like I'm saying, like dual class cards, like there's a lot of powerful dual class cards. One that comes to mind is Wand Thief, and if they're printing more cards like that, it's going to be a disaster. But
Spirit Jailer, seeing a lot
yeah,
of play.
there's a lot of powerful cards with dual class and also Spellburst. I feel like there's also it's just a powerful mechanic overall. Not that there's like so many powerful Spellburst cards, but I think the mechanic is just very strong. Yeah. So this could be like a very powerful set. And the fact that there's dual class cards in a 35 card set means that it's actually like more than 35 cards in the set, kind of, because like 2 classes are getting a card, so like it's a card in that class and it's a card in that class, so it could be like 50 cards, the set, basically.
I don't think there's gonna be that many, you know.
Never know.
But
Is there any more information here? So this is all January 21st, which is Thursday. Supposedly, this is a supposed leak, but it seems pretty legit, pretty legitimate.
yeah, it sounds pretty believable, especially with the time frames that they previously announced. So they wanted to do stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's going to be a Battlegrounds update as well, introducing 2 new heroes and minions. There's going to be Dark Moon races will be added to Duels games the same day. I don't know what that means. Oh, that's the name of this thing, right? Dark Moon races? Is that what it is? Or
No, I mean it
Yeah,
might.
this
but
is the
Duels
name of
gets
it,
like new hero
supposedly.
power and treasures.
Yeah, 3 new
He-
treasures, a new hero power.
The 4
Does anybody even
legendaries
play
that we're
Duels?
getting, we can't really say like whether or not we know what they're going to be. I agree. It would be really cool if all 4 legendaries were dual class. I highly doubt that. Because that would be too cool. I imagine, like, if you think about the last time they came out with Galakrond's Awakening, the legendaries were the one class got a hero card. That was out of nowhere. Like Amazing Reno, we were all just like, okay, I guess Mage gets a hero. And then there was Grand Lackey Urk. There was the Sky General Crag, which was Quest Synergy. And there was, what was the other one?
You have a great memory. Jeez.
Thank you. What was the other? There was 4 from Galakrond's Awakening. Fist. There was a shaman weapon. That was it.
Fist of Rawden.
Yeah. Which is crazy. So, like, if you think about it, we can't say like, oh, these are definitely going to be neutral legendaries. These are going to be class legendaries because they usually just do whatever they want.
It's probably, I don't know. I'm feeling like it'll be a 2 and 2. I think they'll do 2 class legendaries that they hadn't done prior, and then they'll probably do 2 neutrals to weave into every of the other decks. So we'll see.
And one of them might be a dual class one. That and hopefully the dual class that it is a dual class combination that doesn't exist. Like,
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, the two will be neutral, and then 2 will be dual class that we haven't seen yet.
I don't know. I agree with
Combination.
Laxmir and chat. I think they're all going to be Demon Hunter legendaries. Yeah.
All right, we can only hope.
That's exactly what we need.
I don't know if my Dust could afford that, man. All in
That's true.
gold would be so difficult.
We have also on February. I need to read this off just because I know there's a lot of people that really care about this. On February 2nd, there's going to be I believe the Priest Book of Heroes, the Prince Anduin of Stormwind single player campaign. And you're gonna get to see. It's gonna show you how Anduin learned to wield both holy magic and a sword as he traveled through Azeroth. So stay tuned for that. You're gonna get 1 pack of priest cards if you complete that. Okay, guys. And I heard it takes about 40 minutes to complete. So 1 pack for 40 minutes.
Have we seen the new Anduin skin?
I don't think that's been leaked yet.
He's probably gonna look like
a picture of it.
He's probably gonna look like an anime hunk. Calling it now.
Well, it looks like a rogue skin. It's him holding a sword.
I think
and
I have.
He looks
actually
like a straight
seen
up. Yeah. Jay, what was it? Jay Alexander posted on it. He's like, "Wow, when priests be looking like rogues or something like that."
Really?
Yeah. It actually looked fairly cool for a priest skin, but like, I don't know.
I'm trying to find it.
I swear I saw it.
Oh, is
and
this
I
it?
know Jay Alexander
Yep.
commented on it.
This could be it. Yeah, I think I've seen this too. Yeah, I have it pulled up right
Yep,
now.
there it is. Yeah, look at that shit.
It looks kind of
That's
cool
a rogue
though.
skin.
I
not a priest.
This is better than my level 50 skin that I got for priest. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
does
even
not look like a priest.
I don't even care that it doesn't look like a priest. It still just looks cool, and that's all I care about.
I mean,
Well,
if
I
you think
guess
about the
that's
fact that
not-
he's holding twin daggers, right? And then you think about the kind of like the mask guard he has on his face. Like you only see that in WoW on like rogue armor.
I mean, so
Yeah.
the thing is, like, priest becomes whatever class they're playing against, pretty much, or like
I was
they
just-
they take cards from other classes. So in this case, the priest has stolen a lot of rogue cards, and they become the rogue essentially, and that's what happens like every other game. So
Actually, I need to correct that statement I said before. Other classes have the face guard, but they're all female armor. None of the male armor just covers the face unless it's like rogue armor. It's always like fully a helmet. You know what I mean?
I haven't played WoW in a hot minute, but this looks like the one of those rogues at the beginning of like where the humans spawn. It's like one of those bandit guys, one of those bandit rogue guys.
It doesn't make
Alright, well,
sense,
if we're
man.
gonna-
Like, I'm sorry.
If we're doing the math, and the priest looks like a rogue, and we're talking dual class, according to that, rogue and priest dual class cards, one of the new legendaries.
That's a real hot take, man, because these two things are supposed to be like not associated with one another unless they like. Interesting. I mean, I also hate this because priest holding 2 swords doesn't make any sense because priest does not get any weapons except that one fire one that summons dragons.
This is okay. Priest is getting a new weapon. Oh,
dude, I don't know about that, man. Priest does not get. Imagine a rogue priest weapon. That would be cool, but I that steals shit. I don't know. Like,
I don't think you want that actually. I think it's a cool concept, but it's one of those things that like once it gets into the game, you're not gonna want it anymore. You think you want it, but you don't want it.
Wait, what if it was gain a copy of whatever minion you hit with this? Like in your hand. Gain
that
a
seems
copy
way too
of
good.
Like so like if you hit like a wand thief with it, you get a wand thief.
Or if you hit a Zephyrus, then you get a Zephyrus and you win the game. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you could hit their Zeph. So then like you as like but you give it like 2 charges, you make it cost like 5 or something, give it like 3 attack or something, so they have to like buff it.
I don't know. I
It'll be called the self-sealing sword.
That would fit both flavors, you know?
Well, I don't know if I want this in the game. I don't know. But we should
run it in your Highlander priest.
I can dual wield weapons.
I mean, I know I would play it, but I don't want to play against it, and I don't want Rogue to have it. Most of all, like Priest can have it, sure, but not Rogue. We don't want to give that to Rogue. They're already annoying with the wand thieves, bro. I'm cool. Don't steal any more of my stuff. But we should probably go to chat right now for some Q&A, guys. If you have any questions, we will have answers for you. This is your time to ask them in chat. If you have any questions about anything Hearthstone related, please feel free to ask them right now in chat.
I think Teabag brought up a really good point though about how like Anduin looks ready for the pandemic. Like he cares about human lives, and that's great.
Very topical, yes. Very topical. Delete priest. That's not a question. Yeah.
Oh man.
Why do I look so sexy today? I don't know. It's the lighting, I think. Delete DH? Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Had to answer that one.
Draco, what is this DH deck I'm seeing with the Lifesteal taunts and the Corrupt taunts? It's probably the Funky Monkeys token Demon Hunter deck. Because it has both of those in there. Elrich. Unless it's not that. Then it's probably just someone who's damn creative. I can't be missing a Demon Hunter deck.
Is evolve mechanic good for the game, and will it survive next expansion?
No.
To which one?
It is bad. Evolve mechanic is one of the worst things I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yes.
It is so bad. The difference between high rolling into a 4-mana 1/1 or like a 4-mana 2/1 into a 4-mana 8/8, like one player feels bad, one player feels good in every situation and every outcome of every evolve mechanic, like evolution. It's terrible. It's a terrible mechanic, and Shaman can do other things that aren't evolving. And if it is evolving, it's like fringe. It's like very just like it's a passive thing. It does it sometimes, but it's not built around this like high roll / low roll mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. That's like one of the most tilting things in Hearthstone, and like one of the stupidest things in Hearthstone is like how much you can high roll. Like cards that have that high roll potential, and like especially it kind of brings me back to lackeys, because you have the evolve lackey there, which can just completely high roll your opponent, and then you just win the game. Or you also have like a faceless lackey as well that can high roll like a 2-drop, and then you win the game. Like it's just like anything that involves high rolls, and like especially evolve, because you're evolving like so many minions at a time typically, that like here's like one instance of RNG, okay, I low rolled. One instance of RNG, okay, I high rolled. One instance of RNG, I high, like if you high roll like any of them, like you're just in such a better spot, and it's so bad for the game. I really hope it doesn't survive till next expansion. It's such a powerful mechanic because it can do such crazy things like that, and it's just nobody wants to play against it. Like sure, it's fun to be the person rolling the dice, but it's not fun to be the person that just got RNG'd out of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a clear difference when they evolve a Mogu and they hit like a Scrapyard Colossus or like a Colossus of the Moon versus a 1/1 rabbit. Like the difference there is literally just like game breaking. Like one player will win or lose based on whatever this rolls. And it's like neither player can actually, they had no control over this aspect of like literally who's winning and who's losing other than playing the minion and having the weapon. But besides that, there's no inputs.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions in chat about Highlander.
Yeah, I think we should definitely answer it. Do you think they'll print more Highlander cards once Zeph and Alex rotate? Not next year. I imagine they'll probably give it a breather if they ever do decide to go back into Highlander.
I disagree. I feel like
they're gonna make more.
I think they're gonna make. Okay, so there's two different ways they could go about it, and this will also answer some other people's questions in chat. That it's like, so they're revamping the classic set essentially, and or they're getting rid of like the classic set, and then they're maybe making new cards in there or moving some other cards into the classic set. And so it's either, I feel like there is a possibility that there could be Highlander cards in in like the classic set. I think it's pretty unlikely, but there's a possibility.
I think you're just being hopeful for yourself.
A little bit.
Like, when is the last time that a mechanic rotated out of Hearthstone and then they brought it back the following year?
I mean, this is a very popular mechanic though. And like, it's
Highlander, it came out in Saviors of Uldum.
Short.
And then it came out and before that was Legends of Explorers, right? Where the other Reno came out.
I'm saying like it's popular, like as far as like a lot of people like it and enjoy it and like making decks with it, including myself, of course.
I mean, people said the same thing about dual class cards and like every mechanic, you know, people are like, I like magnetize and stuff, you know, like there's always fans of everything like that.
I mean, sure, like, but like it seems like it's kind of like a thing in like a lot of, or in like Magic the Gathering too, maybe. No, I don't know, but I don't know. It seems like
there's Highlander decks and Magic. They're not as popular as, obviously they're more fringe meme decks than anything. But yeah, I see them bringing it back maybe eventually, but I don't see them consistently just giving it support forever.
Yes, I don't know. I feel like they might bring it back. It's all speculation, of course, either way. But I don't know. I feel like there's a chance that it could be in the classic set, the new classic set, or that they'll bring it back this year at some point.
Them putting it in the classic set is an interesting theory. I find that to be unlikely. But
it's pretty unlikely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I bet, like, honestly, they're looking at the fact that Zephyrs is rotating as an awesome opportunity to free the entire team of dedicated coders that works on him and assign them to another project.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't bring it back this year, I'm sure they'll bring it back eventually. Because you guys are asking, or somebody asked, like, if they're going to bring it back in the future. And like they're probably going to bring it back. Like it's probably going to be a thing that just like keeps coming back, like every other year or something like that, at the very least.
They always announce some huge thing for like the beginning part of the expansion year. Like the year before this, we got a new class, which was obviously very cool. It was very cool when it was announced.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like everyone was stoked on the fact that they would do that. And then the year before that, it was lackeys and the entire year being one gigantic story. They tried that, where it was like all of it all went together and they built on the previous things as it went on, which is like why we got like DQA and as a Highlander card and Descent of Dragons. As it continued going on, they would use lackeys and they put more lackeys in the pool. So they kind of did like the year before the rotation set, and we still have all these cards in the game. We're all built off one another. But it wasn't like that the previous year. The previous year, the big thing we got was odd and even. And that was rotated out prematurely.
A year early.
Yeah. So there's probably going to be another big thing. We don't know what that is yet. It's pretty hard to speculate since they try to keep us on our toes and do unpredictable things like new classes, odd and even decks. Like you could generally argue that these risks that they take have kind of backfired if you're kind of salty with Hearthstone, right, Dan?
A little bit. There's a very interesting question in chat right now from Sergeant Teabag saying, if the classic cards do rotate, like how is Zeph going to work with like this possible classic set rotation and everything? And that's actually like I had not thought about that, and that makes me feel like they're not going to release the classic set rotation thing until like a bit later. I don't know, because how would that work? That would be.
They're probably going to rotate Zeph to wild and then like put like a little bit of manpower to make him like discover cards from all the revamped sets and like specific board states. And then they're probably never going to touch it again. Ever.
Yeah, like they're probably going to have to get rid of Zeph and Standard. I don't know.
I mean, it's rotating.
But it's rotating in like March or April. So.
Yeah, the first set of this year.
But the classic set should be like, they should be doing like the classic set revamp like maybe on the 21st as well, on the Thursday.
Yeah. So he's going to give you, it'll no longer give you whatever the classic stuff is now. If it leaves and it goes to wild, then he'll just give you, he's not going to give you stuff that isn't in the format. He's going to give you the new shit.
Yeah, it's the same Zephyrs that they can use for that month.
I don't know.
Wild.
I just don't, I can't see them like doing this whole classic revamp and like Zephyr's completely having to like change, like do a 360. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that.
I imagine some cards will stay that exist in the game already for the classic revamp for some of the classes. So they, or like, so they probably don't have to redo the entire thing. Like they might like give like Shaman another board clear for turn 3 that's less punishing or something. And then all they have to do is swap it for Lightning Storm. I don't know. You know what I mean? We can't really speculate about it. There's a lot of like,
it's just interesting to think about. Yeah.
And this is why they'll never print Zeph again, is because all of this work for one card was not worth it.
And the card doesn't even work at the time. So.
It doesn't.
You know what card Zeph whiffs against so much that I've really like, it's really blown my mind is Il'gynoth. I've played a lot of Highlander decks when I was playing like aggro Demon Hunter, and I would tempo an Il'gynoth on the board, and then people would like drop Zeph and then play like Cleave and kill like my 2 minions next to on the board next to it or something. Like they would get the wrong card to answer it. Like they never get Shadow Word Pain if there's multiple minions on the board.
Yeah.
And
Shadow Word Pain is a very, very tough ask from Zeph. Yeah.
That's stupid. Like,
let me
Zeph should
offer
see
you
a
a
2/6.
Temple Enforcer.
Yes,
in
always
these trying
Temple Enforcer.
times.
Yes. Perfect card.
There's going to be a period of time where we only have 3 sets in Standard. Yes, but it'll be 3 sets in a mini set. And the classic revamp probably in April. So it'll be like, well, it will be 4 sets, right? Because they'll have the new set. The 3, it'll have Ashes of Outlands, Skullomance, and Madness the Dark Moon Fair, the Dark Moon Fair mini set, and the classic revamp. So there will actually be like a solid amount of cards in the game still. If you think about it at this time of year in comparison to most years, especially because Demon Hunter got more cards the entire year than any other class ever did. So we'll technically have probably the most cards in the game ever.
Yeah, so
rotation.
when Blizzard is like working on this classic revamp and everything, they have to think about like when the rotation happens, like what's going to be left in it. So it's actually like a lot of work to really like, it's a lot of work for Blizzard. So I can see why it's taking them so long. It's just it's of course just like the transparency. Like we just want to know like some more information. That's how I feel. But I understand why it would be taking so long, because it is a lot to think about and a lot to like test for, it would seem. But I think that'll wrap it up for this week's podcast. Unless you guys
sounds good.
Anything else? Yeah.
That sounds good.
We're just at
Thanks
the
for
1
having us
hour
on,
mark
D-Money.
right now. Yeah. Thank you for being here. And next week should be very exciting. So I mean, Thursday, if everything comes out, then we'll have like a new meta to talk about next week, and we could break the meta live on Metabreakers Podcast.
Oh my god.
And we will probably have a new guest as well joining us. Been waiting for like announcements to have a guest. Just didn't want to talk about like the same old things, but like this was a good step in the right direction. But I think next week we'll have a lot to talk about. So it should be a very exciting podcast, and I hope to see you all there. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, thanks for having me.
No. It's always a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
See you guys.
Have a great day, guys.